Hi everyone, and today I'm going to give you a little video on how to do this exercise on BIM. I apologize for giving you this at the last minute. As you'll see, it's much simpler than it looks like. It's really what you have to do in visual merchandising. If you remember when we left off in March, it is to do something like this. Okay, so before I show you that, again, let's read through this and I'll explain to you as we go along. So now you are a new sales associate for a Metro supermarket. Your manager gives you the task to set up a sweet snacks and candy display focusing, and this is what you have to pay attention to, nothing but chocolate theme. So nothing but chocolate, sweet snacks and candy though, right? So the display has to have only sweet snacks and candy chocolate products, right? So you receive this order, you'll see below, or you'll see that in your document from your candy supplier, Bonbon Quebec, Appendix 1. The products you receive will be used to assemble your display. Analyze and compare Appendix 2, the proposed planogram, to the shipped products on order in Appendix 1. So in other words, you're going to get a planogram in Appendix 2 that your managers suggest you do. So you're going to see that there's mistakes there and you're going to have to correct Appendix 2. So proposed recommendations about the workability of the suggested display, Appendix 2. You'll see in a second what I mean by that. Here, your manager has to approve the recommendations, of course, before assembling the display. So here we go. We'll get back to that in 1 minute. First and foremost, write down the possible physical resources, tools, display materials you'll need to assemble your merchandise display. So whatever you think you need to make a display that looks like this, right? So you might say you need shelves, of course you need products, you need a header, it's called, you might need tape, you might need screws or hammers or things like that to make this display. So whatever you think you need to make this display, of course you have a copy of this example here. This is an example. Okay, that's step number 1, very easy. In number 2, in your opinion, is it possible to use a planogram exactly as provided in Appendix 2 to create the nothing but chocolate display? Now, certainly the answer here is no, right? So, or else I wouldn't give you this. So if not, of course, what recommendations would you suggest? So let's look at Appendix 2. So I will scroll a little bit now to Appendix 2, or you can do the same thing. Now here's Appendix 2. And you'll see, just like the picture that I got there, the chocolate, you're going to have 5 shells, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now, here again, if you look at this display, it's a beautiful display. You'll see how they put the bigger boxes at the bottom, and they try to make all these samples or the chocolates the same on each row. So this is what you've got to do. It's really more of a game. You can do this with your children if you want. But what you got to do is read this. So the boss gave you this. The manager says, okay, can you use this to do your planogram? The answer is no. Why? Because there's products here that don't belong there, right? They're not chocolate, such as vanilla flavored mooncakes, right? Millefeuille flaky pastries, there's no chocolate in there. Also, you'll see that there is Swiss rolls, that's okay. Jelly log sponge cakes, marshmallows don't belong in this display. Also, what doesn't belong in the display is that you've got chocolate fudge cake mix. Now this is not something to eat right away. You have to make the cake. So you would need to take that one out too. And you also have another one here, milk chocolate chippets. And these are also a product that you make cookies with, not that you eat. All right, so let's look at the products now of all you've got here. And here they are. You're all lined up, right? So as you can see, they're all here, millefeuille. Might have a little bit of chocolate, but certainly it's not a chocolate product. Here are the chippets that have to be removed, marshmallows, and so on and so forth. They're all here. Here's the half moon. So you got to take those off, and you got to replace them with other products. that you think would fit. So again here, if you looked at the display, you'll see that there's some products that are pretty much the same size and they look the same in color. So same as here, right? Mae West, Joe Louis, Caramel. These would probably go on the same row. You might also put on the same row the chocolate bars, right? Aero, Coffee Crisp, Kit Kat, or Caramel. Certainly you would need more of these products to fit the row, just like you have here, right? You would need more of those chocolate bars to fit here than the big ones here. So very simply, I don't need you to redo the design like I showed you now. I just need you to answer those two questions, and that's it, right? So the first question is, what's the actual tools you're going to use? Very simple. And number two is, what recommendations would you suggest? So you would say in shelf 1, right? Here you would write shelf 1. And you would make the recommendations here, and then so for shelf 2, shelf 3, and shelf 4, what are the recommendations you would make? Okay, so you have all this information here. It is really straightforward. It's just to see that it's an exercise in learning how to make displays. And again, it's very, very simple, not more than what I just explained to you. But if you do have questions, you can do two things. You can certainly ask your classmates that were in your class, and if you remember them, I'm sure some of you do. You can ask them because they were explaining the same thing, and so they have all that information, or they have already worked on it and have completed it, and they realize how easy it was after I explained it. You can do that. Or number two, if you would like for me to go answer your questions, you can certainly email me your questions about this exercise, or you can, if you want me to meet with you in Zoom, absolutely, just let me know. You can just say, Tony, send me an email, I'm not sure about this, please let's meet in Zoom and I'll re-explain it. Okay, but the main thing, like I said, what you're looking for is you want to eliminate products that are not chocolate, and you do want to make a nice display that looks like this. Now, do you actually have to do the design afterwards using these products? Of course not. But if you would like to, you can certainly do that. If you want to make copies of these and make me a nice display, you can do that also. All right. So very simply, you'll get this little video and you'll have all this information. Again, if you have any questions, contact me any way you like, and I'll be more than happy to explain to you what to do. All right, so pay attention to these products like this, right? Super moist cake mix is not a product that you eat, so you need to take those out. Great, thank you. And again, I apologize for giving you this at the last minute. It's just that instructions come and go very quickly right now, and we need to get all this finalized, and I had completely forgotten about you. Again, my apologies. Thank you. Talk to you soon.